here with Chris Corner of IAMX at the Hollywood Heights Hotel. How are you doing today?
I guess you could say I'm fabulous. Little tired, but fabulous.
You been doing interviews all day, or?
Yeah, but it's been pretty relaxed actually. As you can see, I'm just, as long as I have a bed and a glass of wine.
Just hanging out in your hotel room?
Yeah.
No pressure?
No pressure.
Awesome. Well, you just released the latest album, Kingdom of Welcome Addiction, that dropped a couple weeks ago, right? In May?
Yes, it did. I'm interested in this word "dropped." Is it an American thing? We don't use that in Europe, but that's an interesting way to put it. Dropped.
Yeah, I
dropped.
think it's probably an American word.
Okay.
Released, I guess, would be the easiest.
I quite
one.
like "dropped" though. There's something quite what is it? Not cynical, but ironic about it.
Right. And I mean, you've released 3 albums in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
How would you say that the latest one kind of differs? I mean, when I listened to the first 2, it was kind of like one was a little bit, more slow, more melodic, and then the second one was kind of, more powerful, and this seems kind of like a mixture of both.
Yeah, I guess that's right. The second one, the first one was exploring the sound and trying to find my feet as a solo artist, because I hadn't really done that before, and it was really a growing up process. And I was producing myself completely alone for the first time. So it was really a learning process for me. The second one was releasing the beast, and somehow connecting the studio sound with a live sound, taking it out there. It was more aggressive in some ways. And the third one is a little more psychological, I guess, in terms of letting the lyrics and the subtleties of the melodies and the concept take the attention and the production and the beats to take a step back a little bit. So I guess you get this combination between the two albums. Yeah.
Has the concept of IAMX been in your mind for a long time, or is it just something that you kind of spur of the moment decided you wanted to do?
It's been on my mind, I think, as long as I can remember. And I just never really had enough to say, I think. I just needed to grow up a bit and get to the point where I had some things to talk about and to feel confident and to feel vital enough to carry the project. I also moved from London to Berlin, and I reinvented my life, and I cut a lot of ties, and I changed pretty much everything that I knew, and that was the beginning of IAMX also. So it also represents a very big spiritual change for me.
Kind of the rebirth of Chris Corner.
Yeah.
You had kind of a short U.S. tour last year, and then you're doing kind of a mini U.S. tour right now.
Yeah.
And how has the response been from last year to this year?
It's great. I'm always a little suspicious going on tour, but we've been lucky enough that it keeps getting better. I don't think we would come back if it wasn't. The crowds are really great. We have very dedicated fans, which is lovely, and we've managed to get more of them. So we're really happy. I think what's really nice is this album still feels very young to me, and even though it's very fresh and young for me to play live, everybody knows the words and everybody feels it. They probably understand it more than I do. So when we play the tracks live, I'm still trying to work out what the fuck I'm playing, and they're just going with the lyrics and they're going with the feeling of the track, and in some ways they know more about it than I do, and that's really amazing to have that support. You know?
You're touring with Hypernova right now.
Yeah.
How's that been going? I mean, there's definitely a variance of sounds.
Yeah.
From you to them.
It's good. I think it's good to have a contrast with support bands, because I mean, there's nothing worse than two IAMXs playing in one night. You know, it just wouldn't really work. And I like the fact that there's a lot of energy there, and the sound is very different, and it's not electronic. And I mean, it has elements of electronic stuff in it, but it's not based on electronic music. And they really get the crowd going, and that's I think it really sets up the show for us really nicely. So.
How, as an independent, musician, is the economy and kind of the reformation of the record label industry? How's that been affecting you, and how do you go about kind of promoting yourself and getting your name out there?
We have been doing this for years now, so we're lucky that we've created some kind of niche, I guess, a niche market, and it's always very inspiring to go to places now in this climate where everybody's touring and everybody wants a piece of your merchandise, and everybody wants this kind of to find the new way for this crumbling music industry. And we go to a place and we manage to sell out, and no one really knows. We're not in magazines, we're not doing any of that stuff. So what's good about that is the fact that the people bring us there. The people that actually want to listen to the music bring us there, and we're cutting out all of the shit in the middle, and working with majors and the whole sort of commercial music industry in the past was it's just the wrong way. It's just built on the wrong way to make music, and for us as an independent musical project, we have to be clever about using the internet, using word of mouth, and interacting with the audience, with the people that actually care or give a fuck about our music directly, and that, I think that's what's made it work, is that there's a really strong intimate connection between us and the fans, and hopefully the music's quite good too, but I think that's what's really made this work outside of, and we've been tiptoeing around these sort of collapsing giants for the last couple of years, and fortunately we haven't, fingers crossed so far, we haven't been affected by this huge amount of competition out there. I say fingers crossed because I don't know how that's going to go in the future. They're sucking everybody in, and the next step for us is to stay out of that completely, and just to rent a house, to invite the fans to that house, and we play in the fucking front room for them, and we have just absolute direct contact with them, and the rest of these people can just disappear. That's my concept for a musical utopia, or an IAMX utopia, where we just work completely outside of that industry, because I mean they don't give a fuck about us, we don't give a fuck about them. Right. Why even get involved?
Yeah. Are you guys planning on doing the European festivals this summer?
Yeah, we have some European festivals lined up. I think I like festivals. There's this sort of level of chaos that in some ways is very attractive, because you just let go, but that's hard for me, being a bit of a control freak. I don't, like to go on stage at 2 p.m. and have no visuals and have no, no vodka or whatever. It's all completely out of control. So it can be somehow frustrating, but you do, if you get good festivals, you can play to a good amount of people, and that's important to get the message out there.
For those of you, for those out there who haven't really seen an IMX show, don't really know what you guys are about, how would you explain kind of the live show?
I would say that it's a combination of visual theatrical intensity combined with musicianship and sweat and sex and screaming and unpredictable, chaotic, nonsense. It's many things. It's like a I see it like a kind of an intense therapy session. For me particularly, it's about losing control. It's about interacting with the people in a way that they lose control. I think the main thing about a performance is that they need to feel part of it. I want people to come to an IMX show, and I want them to dress up, and I want them to feel like they are part of the show. They're giving as much as I'm giving, and that it's an event for them. It's not just going to see some music. It's like a lifestyle. I feel that it's about having an attitude and it being a lifestyle. The show is just part of that. I want it to be inviting, and I want it to last. I want people to go out of the room and feel like they're not quite sure what they've seen, whether it was absolutely ridiculous or whether it was the best thing they've ever seen, so that they actually go out and they think about what they've seen. It's chaos.
To put it simply.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, what kind of things can you predict for the future of IMX?
I'm not very good at predicting the future, but I would like to have a little utopia. Again, I talk about this, and this is the music is part of that, but I want it to be more about a collective of people, of minds, of people that kind of want to make a difference and have an alternative way of living, of making art, of existing out of consumerism, of commercialism, and try to sort of change things in a small way. I mean, it sounds like some kind of hippie revolution or something, but I want IMX to pave the way for an independent mini revolution.
Cool. Well, thanks for taking time, and enjoy the show tomorrow. I'll definitely be there.
Good.